evening, friends. Professor Brahm Singh Horticulture Foundation, BSHF, a not-for-profit organization, and myself welcome you all to the talk number 29 of this series 3H, Horticulture for Health and Happiness. BSHF is thankful to Syngenta, Patanjali Ayurved Limited and NHRDF to sponsor this webinar series, which is completing today. Being a valedictory webinar of the series today, we are fortunate to have guest of honor, Dr. D.P. Singh, former ADG, Vegetable Crops, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi with us. Welcome, Dr. D.P. Singh. Dr. D.P. Singh, let me tell something about Dr. D.P. Singh. He did his PhD on biometrical genetics at IARI, New Delhi. He served for 36 years, starting his career as vegetable breeder, followed by head of the division of vegetable crops at Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, Bangalore, followed by head of regional station CHES, Ranchi, and then ADG vegetable crops at ICR, New Delhi. Later, he served at AVRDC Taiwan as country director of Severnet, followed by team leader or country director of USAID AVRDC Bangladesh project, and later national coordinator at NATP, and then followed by NAIP, World Bank funded projects at IAR, at ICR headquarters in New Delhi. Friends, Dr. D.P. Singh developed 30 varieties of different vegetable crops, mainly in onion, the Arka Niketan, Pargati, Kalyan, Bindu, Pitambar, Lalima, this is a open pollinated one, and then capsicum, Arka Mohini, Gaurav, then in chili, Arka Lohit, Ambhi, then eggplant, Bengan, Brinjal, Swan Siri, and others, then a pointed gourd, Swan Rekha, and Alukik, then cucumber, 2-3 varieties, and in rich gourd, which is powdery mildew and downy mildew resistant grade. He has published 4 books and 127 research articles. The Indian Society of Vegetable Science and Indian Academy of Horticulture Science honored Dr. D.P. Singh with the fellowship. On behalf of BSHF and on my personal behalf, Dr. D.P. Singh is welcome to the valedictory talk as guest of honor to express his impression on the series later when we request him. Friends, I welcome co-organizer Dr. Shailendra Rajan. Hope shortly he will join if he has not joined. Former director ICR CISH Lucknow, UP. And another co-organizer, but co-organizer come speaker of this evening, Dr. Pritam Kalia, who is familiar face to you, who is going to speak on exotic vegetable for health and happiness. BSHF is thankful to Dr. Pritam Kalia to honor his request to deliver the webinar. Dr. Pritam Kalia, he is ICR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Awardee and um, Indian Academy of Horticulture Science Shiv Shakti Lifetime Achievement Awardee, Fellow of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, Indian Society of Vegetable Science, and Indian Academy of Horticulture Sciences. He is recipient of HPU Gold Medal and Certificate of Honor, Mohan Memorial Gold Medal for his first position in MSc, Dr. Kirti Singh Gold Medal, Himokkarsh, Himachal Shri and Himachal Gaurav Awards and Vaishvik Awards. These are some of the main awards. Then he is a former ICR emeritus scientist who has worked on advances in biotic stress resistance breeding and beta carotene biofortification in Indian cauliflower and nutraceutical mapping in carrots. He was head and professor vegetable science as well as coordinator School of Horticulture Sciences IARI New Delhi. He was professor of vegetable science at HPAU Palampur. Dr. Kalia is consulting editor for International Journal of Vegetable Science published by Taylor and Francis USA and served as former chief editor of Indian Journal of Horticulture 2018 to 2020. He has been elected as vice chairperson of International Society of Horticulture Science for the Division of Horticulture for Development from August 2018. During his career spanning over nearly 37 years, Dr. Kalia contributed significantly in the area of vegetable crops improvement, having 33 new varieties of different vegetable crops to his credit. He registered genetic stock to number of CMS cauliflower, 4 of CMS tropical carrot, and 1 resistant to each of black rot and downy mildew diseases in cauliflower with NBPGR. Dr. Kalia is credited with introduction of broccoli and leek crops in India. He is going to talk about this. He has contributed in exotic vegetable, nutraceutical, resistance breeding, and genetic mechanism facilitating hybrid breeding in cauliflower and carrot. Dr. Kalia has published more than 110 research papers in journals of repute and he has guided 5 MSc and 6 PhD students. Dr. Kalia contributed significantly in disease resistant breeding, developing powdery mildew resistant garden pea, black rot and downy mildew resistant cauliflower varieties. He identified genes which impart resistance to black rot disease in cauliflower which are being bred into commercial varieties through marker assisted breeding. He established genetic mechanism cytoplasmic male sterility in tropical carrot and Indian cauliflower. You can say anyway, there are groups of that temperate cauliflower and the other one is the Indian cauliflower, paving the way for hybrid development. Dr. Kalia has introgressed beta carotene enhancing OR gene in Indian cauliflower, which will go a long way in tackling beta carotene malnutrition problem in India. World over, beta carotene deficiency or malnutrition is there. It's a fantastic contribution of Dr. Kalia. You will be known for that. Dr. Kalia represented India in APO sponsored meet on quality and safety standards for fruits and vegetables in Taiwan. He also served as IAEA sponsored training expert on vegetable breeding to scientific staff in Mauritius. Dr. Kalia visited a number of countries: United Kingdom, Japan, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, Taiwan, Australia, Mauritius, New Zealand, and others in connection with postdoctorate studies, presenting research papers in Congress symposia, international collaboration research products meetings, and for imparting training to scientists. So this is in brief, just in brief about Dr. Kalia. Friends, coming to the topic, exotic vegetable. The exotic vegetable, most of our popular vegetables are exotic. But because of their large and common consumption and local production, they are no more exotic. They have become some sort of a local one. But vegetables which are uncommon are recently introduced, such as asparagus, broccoli, colored capsicum, cherry tomato, parsley, celery, Chinese cabbage, red cabbage, zucchini, bok choy, European carrot, baby corn, lettuce, leek are known as exotic. Dr. Pritam Kalia is going to talk on some of them and in detail on broccoli, for which he is known and he has popularized broccoli in the country. Exotic vegetable market, friends, is growing at the rate of 15 to 20% per annum. India is importing more than 85% exotic vegetable demand. I think we have to reduce it. We have to start producing these vegetables which are in demand. The health benefits of these exotic vegetables, Dr. Kalia is going to talk about in detail. I need not to just mention these. Dr. Kalia will be talking about the commercial benefit of these vegetables. And friends, question can be asked either in Hindi or English. They will be answered if the time permit. Otherwise, you can be in touch with Dr. Kalia. And now, Dr. Pritam Kalia is requested to present his valedictory talk or webinar. Dr. Kalia, please.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, viewers. Most respected founder, chairman of BSHF, Professor Brahma Singh ji, and today's valedictory lecture chief guest, Professor DP Singh ji, and the co-organizer, Dr. Shailendra Rajan ji. I am thankful to the organizers, especially the founder chairperson, Dr. Brahma Singh ji, for having me given this opportunity to deliver this valedictory lecture of the series, webinar series 2 that BSHF is conducting. I'm grateful to the organizers for this gesture. The topic chosen is exotic vegetables for health and happiness, as also explained by Professor Brahma Singh ji. Exotic vegetables in today's concept is that the vegetables which are grown around the world and their nutrition is being enjoyed by the developed countries and other parts of the world, but they are at infancy in India. That means they are not available to each and every person of the country. Although in the past we have made attempt to Indianize some of the crops which took longer time, and the indigenous varieties were developed, and the fruits of those we are looking for today. We are experiencing the efforts made on the ground, that their availability has become in each and every corner of the country. Likewise, there are others which I'll be talking about in this lecture, to just to educate our viewers. Many types of viewers must be attached to this lecture, whether farmers, students, researchers, traders, that these crops are important from the nutrition point of view that they carry. And why not the farmers of our country can make a livelihood by growing those, and the uh, consumers are benefited from the nutrition that they carry. So with this viewpoint, I proceed with my talk. And uh, so here I go with the first slide. And just to introduce the aspect that India is a very large country with various types of agroclimatic conditions, and almost all kinds of vegetables grown around the world can be grown here in one or the other part of the country. And the exotic vegetables, especially, uh, have a lot of potential in the domestic market as well as from export point of view. During my talk, you'll see that there are some crops which are not yet popular in India, but they are grown in India, they are processed in India, and they are exported. So the exporters and the growers are getting benefit from them, and the consumers also slowly picking up their recipes. And exotic vegetables also play a good role in the lives of rural, because we know that we have very small and marginal farmers, and uh, for market garden point of view, in peri-urban area, these are perishable crops, so they are the people there earn a lot of livelihoods, and they play a critical role in poverty alleviation and sustaining the environment. And therefore the crop diversification, that the crops we have today, we need to diversify to help our small and marginal farmers and also consumers, uh, by diversifying into these different kinds of vegetables, which gives a lot of benefit to all kind of the stakeholders. And why there is a need to diversify? Because natural resource sustainability, ecological balance, more output will be there, employment generation will be there, risk coverage, monocropping have high risk from that point of view, and food and nutritional security, promotion of export, poverty alleviation, judicious use of land and water resources, reduction of environmental pollution, high profits, and a reduction in the malnutrition that can be brought about. So the various angles it serves the purpose. And the diversification through exotic vegetables is pertinent from the point of view, as I have explained, because they are grown on limited scale at present. Maybe some of them are grown by some amateur gardeners in their kitchen gardens only, and other public is not benefited from the nutrition they have. And they are not as popular as the traditional vegetables we have, because people have already recipes for them, they have developed taste for them. So the new crops, it requires time to get accustomed to these kind of things. These are all rich in various nutrients, all kind of nutrients and bioactive compounds that we have, and they open up a lot of not only from nutrition point of view, but from the pharmaceutical industry, from nutraceutical industry, processing industry, they open up a lot of windows. And they are suitable for growing into different climatic condition, and they add new one to crop diversification and diversification to term of consumers preference and nutrition. So the crop diversification and the diet diversification both are important, and that concept these contribute in a huge manner. And they can also help and address increasing demand for food, nutrition, economic and medicinal needs. They can play a vital role in lives of rural and urban poor as they contribute to livelihood, poverty alleviation, and sustaining the environment. So diversification is important from both angles, from crop diversification point of view and consumer diet diversification point of view. And export potential, as I explained, that they have plenty, that because of diverse climatic conditions, are other small countries, SAARC countries, they do not have those kind of different environments, and they look forward for various products which can be grown here in our country and exported to those countries. So there is a lot of export potential. And likewise, from value addition point of view, also from the urban markets point of view, pre-cut salads or the packaging of these kind of ready to cook material sort of value addition can be had, which is in metropolitan cities has already uh, come forward with other crops, but it can add to these crops as well as, and various other value added products can be had from these. So those are the benefits. And the first group of exotic crops, that coal crops, we all know that coal crops are there, and we are very much accustomed to cauliflower and cabbage, but there are other broccoli, Brussels sprout, kale, which are important in this sector, although we have nolcol, which is also called as kohlrabi. But nutrient packed broccoli, Brussels sprout, and kale are very important one, and they are also making presence in the market to a very low level, but they are not available to the larger section of our people. So the from broccoli point of view, we say that they are low in carbohydrates and many essential vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, and phytonutrients they are rich in. And these are detailed here. The primary nutrients and the vitamins, almost all vitamins in various level, they are present in that. And in their requirement point of view, they meet out our requirement as they are required in a very minute quantity. But when we have deficiency of those, the effect produced are very large. So this Brassicolaceae variety Italica broccoli is commonly called as, and it's rich in minerals as well as electrolyte and phytonutrients as well. The health benefits we can derive from these compounds that this is rich in, especially the coal crops, and broccoli especially is very rich in glucosinolates that they are mentioned here, which and we have some other like glucosinolates compounds broken into indoles, nitriles, thiacyanates, and isothiocyanates, selenium, indole 3 carbinol, sulforaphane. These are all a derivative of glucoraphanin. So broccoli is especially rich in glucoraphanin, and these are all health benefits because of these compounds that the broccoli is rich in. We can drive, and very powerful crop from anti-cancerous properties point of view, but it has various other benefits that the consumers can drive, and they are listed here. Then, as I was telling in the beginning, that we first started working on broccoli in 87, 88, after I have had my postdoctorate in UK. Then I saw there that there's a new crop of people are enjoying its benefit, but we don't have it in our country. So when I returned, I first started working on this, and in 93, 95, we brought out the first variety called as Palam Samriddhi, which is showing its presence throughout the country now, and it has been found of late having salinity resistance, and in Gujarat coastal areas it has made boom in from the last 2 years, and in those areas where nothing can be grown, it's growing, and people are enjoying its benefits. So Smriddhi and Haritika, especially for hills, we developed, which are now available for the consumers and the growers who are getting benefited from it. And then heading broccoli, the First two were sprouting type broccolis, of which the term after cutting the terminal head, you have sprouts which also can add to the total yield, and one can have many harvests from the same crop. But the heading broccoli is just like cauliflower, once over harvest. And but the specialty is that kanchan is rich in carotenoid, especially the beta carotene, and the vichitra is rich in anthocyanins. And these are the nutrient profile of these green sprouting type and the heading type variety that we have done, and it is enlisted here from carotenoid point of view, vitamin C point of view, and minerals point of view. And this is how that the commercial, this is organic product. Once I visited United States, and then I found that the broccoli is going is being sold in the market as organic products, and the Swiss chard is also there. So the broccoli also we are now growing very well, is better than even American varieties. Then Brussels sprout is another crop which is very important. It has not found much favor because of cultivation practices and harvesting practices are different, and it is still a mature gardener's crop, but it's also quite good in various nutrients which are listed here from protein point of view, and then carbohydrates and various other compounds and health benefits, that it plays a role in preventing cancer, maintaining vision and skin health, as well as the appearance of skin. Then kale is another crop which is a leafy cole crop. It's tremendously rich in very many compounds, including the fiber, minerals, especially as you find here. Then the minerals, a list of minerals, almost all minerals we can talk about, they are there in various amounts in this crop, and also good source of folate, which is very important compound. And the health benefits that it gives us, that it's for good for reducing the diabetes in diabetic patients, provide health benefits, reduces cancers, provides bone health, digestion it supports, skin and hair growth it supports, and it adds to the eye health. This is one of the variety which has been released from the Katrine station of Indian Agriculture Research Institute, called as Central Kale Pusa 64, which is good in phenols, anthocyanins, ascorbic acid, chlorophyll, lycopene, and total carotenoids. And it can be that various harvest can be had from this crop, so it's important from that point of view. And this is just another set of the nutrition, general nutrition of these three important exotic crops of broccoli, Brussels sprout, and kale, that has been listed from the viewers' point of view, that they can have look on these compounds as from minerals point of view. A lot of minerals are there which plays important role in various metabolism of our body. And then vitamins, a load of vitamins is there, especially find in case of kale, in vitamin C, and then in folate, and then vitamin A, international vitamin K is quite high compared to the other counterparts. But then apart from fresh, we can have the processed products also made from these crops, especially these frozen broccoli and Brussels sprout that we have here. So that means additional we can have. And then steam processed broccoli has a higher antioxidant capacity activity in this. So that means it requires just steaming. If you do, then you retain all the nutrients in this, and it can also be consumed as salad. And the broccoli powder can also be made, which can be added to other snacks to make them tasty and nutritious. So glucosinolates point of view, I talked that cole crops are rich in, but these three crops which I'm talking about today: broccoli, Brussels sprout, and kale. That you find that in aliphatics, glucosinolates, glucoraphanin, which is also referred to as sulforaphane, is quite high in broccoli compared to the other. And in Brussels sprout, sinigrin is very high. Also, gluconapanin is high. And then in case of kale, sinigrin is quite high. So that variability is there from the different glucosinolates point of view, and that means that we can have different benefits from different crops. That's why diversification of the crops, as well as then diversification of the diet, using them to enhance our nutrient and get benefited from the nutrients available in the different crops. And then how to enhance the bioavailability of these compounds which are important for us, using the wild relatives, as this Brassica villosa has been found to be quite high in glucoraphanin, which is also called as sulforaphane. And the biofortified broccoli availability of these compounds is 270% mentioned here, compared to the other normal broccoli crop where it's 100%, and in other cole crops it's quite less. And then to enhance the breeding efficiency, to bring out the high glucosinolate genotype, the using of markers, and the QTL1 and 2 has been identified. So the marker assisted breeding has enhanced the hasten the process of varietal development and breeding efficiency in these crops. That's how the advancement is there in this sector. Then another crop which is also brassica vegetable like that of cole crops, but it's different from the other crops which I talked about: Chinese cabbage, brassica, repa variety, picanensis. And the difference is that all those other crops, the cole crops, are with the 2 and 18 chromosome, and this is with the 2 and 20 chromosome. And this is also very good for diversification. And the first variety at Palampur, we developed Palampur green. This photograph is of that, and its nutritional profile, whatever we could do then from vitamin A, C point of view, and the minerals point of view, that is enlisted here. And it's now also has found ground on the different areas for its growth, grown on a quite large scale. And this Chinese cabbage, there are two types, pak choi and Petsai type. Petsai is the leafy type, and pak choi is the heading type Chinese cabbage. And these are the nutrient profile of these crops from general nutrition point of view, including proteins, fiber, and the minerals and vitamins point of view. Quite a load of nutrients are packed into these crops, and the health benefits because of that we have that they aid in preventing cancer, fights inflammation, lowers the risk of heart diseases, promotes bone health, protect eye health, boosts immunity, and keeps skin healthy, helps ensuring healthy pregnancy, from the point of view that folate is needed, or during pregnancy folate needs becomes double, and insufficient folate intake can lead to spina bifida and encephaly. Incorporating dark leaf greens into our diet, such as pak choi and others also, where there are many other exotic vegetables which are in folate. So to diversify diet, we can do that. Their requirement helps in solving those problems which are noticed due to deficiency of folate. So that was with respect to the cole and brassica vegetables, and then the root vegetables also, which are exotic and important, because the root crops itself forms 1/3 of our daily requirement. That from 300 requirement that is dietitians recommend, 100 gram has to come from the root vegetables. And the beetroot is very important. For the past many decades, we see that it has made roads into our diet slowly, but now its nutrition level is being known to the general public because of the rise in literacy level. we find that there is a shift towards this crop, also because of the reason that the color can be extracted from it and it can be used in various other cookings rather than synthetic colors. So this beetroot is a good source of fiber, folate, various these minerals, vitamin C, and this can help in improving blood flow, lower blood pressure, and increase exercise performance. That sort of benefit that we can drive, and these are the varieties which are presently uh, uh, being multiplied at IARI station Katrai and made available to the people who want to grow it. So nutrition value of beetroot is also it's a nutrition packed crop with vitamins, fiber, and minerals especially. And the health benefits that we have from it, that the it is low in carbohydrates, so it's good for low glycemic, uh, which means that helps diabetics, and very rich in fibers, and because of that reason it has various other compounds other than fiber, called as pigmented betaine, and the vulgaxanthin and inorganic nitrates. In particular, inorganic nitrates are associated with reduced blood pressure, and then beetroots can lower blood pressure, which may lead to reduced risk of heart disease and other ailments. And this root vegetable can also improve oxygen use, stamina, and exercise performance. But there are adverse effects of it which needs to be seen. That means how much we intake we have to make, that those who are having kidney beetroots are usually well tolerated, except for individuals who are prone to kidney stones. So those who have tendency for kidney stones, they need to avoid it. And then these are also contain FODMAPs, which are sort of fructans, and which have short chain carbohydrates that feed on our gut bacteria. So these are adverse factor, and depending upon that, we have to be cautious while consuming it, how much quantity that we have to have. So that means the major class of bioactive molecules which are found in red beet are associated with the diabetes prevention and other health benefits in people with diabetes. So these are the load of the compounds: folic acid, iron, carotenoids, B complex, fiber, mineral, ascorbic acid, flavonoids, betalains, pectin, which are all useful compounds that beet root is rich in. And then major flavonoids which are found in red beet, and their mode of supporting people with diabetes is that red beet roots flavonoids are the scamphyrol, epigenin, epicatkin, epicatkin gallate, camphritrin, myricetin, quercetin, luteolin, and these help in increasing in utility of inulin, inhibition of lipid peroxidation, restore activity of antioxidant enzymes, and decrease the cholesterol level and increase insulin secretion. So that is the powerful antioxidant activity beetroot has. And we find that the different varieties from different areas, if they have been compared from beta cynine and beta xanthin point of view, and there is a lot of variability which has been found, which gives opportunity to the breeders to develop these nutrient dense beetroot varieties. So the breeders can take note of that the variability is the key to enhancing the quantity of that uh, material that you want, especially these compounds that we are looking for. And the general classification or beta lanes, which I am talking about, that there are two groups: beta cynine and beta xanthin. And beta cynine has betanin group, and these are the 4 compounds in it. Then amaranthin group, which has 1 compound amaranthin, and the gomphoranin group, which has 2 compounds, and likewise beta-xanthin has amino acid derived conjugate group, which portulaca-xanthin 2 and portulaca-xanthin 3, tryptophan beta-xanthin and tyrosine beta-xanthin, and amine derived conjugate group has 1. And these are the different, this is processing friendly crop, and because it can be used in various forms after processing also. So that sort of things, and it's also called as superfood from its a nutrient pack point of view. And the powder is also dehydrated beetroot is available and can be made from the varieties that one has. And then the another root crop is parsnip, which is Pastinaca sativa, and this is also temperate type, biennial in nature, and is also very important, belonging to the umbelliferae family. It's also a good source of various vitamins, minerals, fiber especially, has protein also. When I talk about protein, these all crops have looks small quantity of the protein, but it's soluble proteins which are directly absorbable and available to our health immediately on consumption. It's not a crude protein that we have otherwise in pulses. Then health benefits of parsnip are again listed here, that they are good for healthy eyes, digestive functions, and prevents constipation, can help in preventing birth defects, and also helps in heart health, sports enzyme production, and bone health, because of the nutrients and other compounds that it contains, helps in various health related issues. Then rutabaga is another root crop, which is from the brassica group itself, and called as brassica nepus variety, nepobrassica, and looks like that of turnip, but its shape is a little bit oblong one, as we find here that this is through hybridization between brassica oleracea and brassica rapa, we get brassica nepus, and then brassica nepus and brassica oleracea we get brassica nepobrassica, also called as Swede, because first it was cultivated in Sweden, and that's why it derive its name as Swede also, other than rutabaga. And then the nutrition profile is also quite attractive, that it is a nutrient packed with the various kind of nutrient, especially worth mentioning dietary fiber and the vitamins, folate, and other vitamins, especially vitamin C, and then electrolytes, sodium, potassium. Potassium is quite high, which is good for health, and minerals are okay, like calcium, magnesium, which are required for various functions in the body. And the health benefits of rutabaga are again that the nutritionally, it's nutritious with low calories. That means it's good for health, for low weight, for maintaining your body to that point of view. And they have good in these various nutrients which we have mentioned here, like proteins is quite good compared to the other crops. It's 4 gram here, and then very nice fiber and vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, calcium, vitamin E. So that means that these rutabagas are excellent source of potassium, calcium, magnesium, vitamin E and C, and they also contain moderate of folate, B complex vitamins, which are required for metabolism and pectin synthesis and DNA replication. And rutabagas are also good in phosphorus and selenium. Phosphorus is important for energy production and bone health, and selenium is essential for reproductive health. So these are the benefits, and then they are high in antioxidants, rutabagas, which is quite good, and they prevent premature aging, promote bowel health, helps with the weight loss, high in potassium. What are the benefits of that? That I have already detailed. That potassium is very good for regulating fluid balance, nerve signaling, and blood pressure. And potassium-rich diet is associated with low risk of stroke and heart diseases. And these parsnip and rutabaga can also be processed. The canned products are mentioned here, how they can be made available for off season. Then leek is another crop which is allium, different from the root crops, although it comes from the bulb crop group, but it doesn't form bulb, and it's a pseudostem is eatable. An entire plant is pulled and washed, chopped, and can be enjoyed in various forms in soup and cooked as a normal vegetable, and also can be enjoyed as a salad. And its the nutrition profile is again from the point of view of protein, fiber, minerals, vitamin C, and it's quite rich in all those compounds. That's why it has its value, and for diet diversification is important. And this is the detailed nutrition profile of this leek, from the monosaturated and polysaturated omega-3 and omega-6 proteins, and a lot of vitamins it has. And it also has a large number of minerals, but they are low to moderate, not very high. So that means, of course, we need in small quantity. And the health benefits that we derive from leek, because of its low calories and high nutrient pack, boost immune system, help in digestion, protect against certain types of cancer, and help in healthy skin, teeth, and eyes. And these are again that this can be processed. Freeze drying of leek can be done. It can be canned also. So the processed products also can be made from it, which provides other opportunities for growers, that additional production can be used for later use of it in the off season. Then another the one important mention is that the variety we have mentioned in this uh, leek is this one, which is the first variety we developed in India, called as a palm postic long back. And still this crop hasn't taken much, but it's grown on a very low scale. But it's quite good that we have Indianized varieties which can be picked up and for large scale cultivation, or from by for growing by different people in different parts of the country. Then bunching onion is another crop which also we worked long back, and we developed one variety called as Pusa Somya, which becomes perennial. It keeps giving offshoots, and once planted, it can stay in the kitchen garden for a longer period of time. And it can be cultivated through seed as well as through offshoots or suckers. It gives up, called as Allium ficulosum, again coming from onion family. And it's also has good nutrition profile from the general nutrients point of view, and also from the point of view of fiber and this minerals, and the water soluble vitamins, lipids, and the fat soluble vitamins. So it's a pack of all the nutrients, and can be consumed in various ways, and used as addition to different diets. And the lot of amino acid profiling, almost all amino acid we talk about, they are present in this. So that's how it helps us in having healthy life. But some of the major nutrients that it has is vitamin K, C, and the minerals iron, copper, phosphorus, and the vitamins riboflavin. Fiber is quite good, dietary fiber. Manganese, magnesium, vitamin B6, pyridoxine, and the benefits that we can derive from these different compounds and the minerals, amino acids, that it helps again in lowering cancers, cardiovascular system, fights anemia, promotes good eye vision, good for pregnant women, and treats gastrointestinal diseases, supports healthy bones, reduce blood sugar uh, level, weight management, treats hematuria, and dermatological care it takes. So overall, it supports bone health, decrease risk of cancer, and reduce obesity and other related diseases. Then the another now the leafy group of crops, although in other groups also we have leafy, but the especially which are loved the world over, and in India also of late, this crop has come up in a big way, and in the new types of food system, that functional foods and other that burgers and salad, it's called as salad crop especially. And these are the four major groups, the crisp head type, and which are called as iceberg, great lakes, and the loose leaf cutting lettuce, which is called as, and stem or celtuce types, and then cos or romaine types that we have as per these photographs. And the nutritional value, again, it's a pack of different nutrients, although in very small quantity they have, but we need in that form vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber is quite high, and it helps in preventing these all loads of problems if we have continuous presence of these in our diet, like prevents insomnia, and protects against diseases, against cancer, against heart diseases, antimicrobial properties. It has improved body metabolism and promote brain health, and add in weight loss, and helps in control of anxiety. The bioactive compounds that lettuce mainly is known for is beta carotene and lutein, and romaine types of lettuce contain highest amount of beta carotene, and these phenolic compounds are quite high, especially these uh, caffeic acid, chlorogenic acid, and flavonoids like quercetin, camphorol, and the anthocyanins. It's good in because different varieties we have, and total phenolic contents also this is quite good lettuce. And the major fatty acid in lettuce is alpha linoleic acid, followed by linolenic and linoleic acid. Then the nutrients which are high in different groups of these lettuce types, that dietary fiber, potassium, and calcium in a romaine, phosphorus, magnesium, butter, had iron in a red leafy type, and then this folate in a romaine type, vitamin C in green leafy, uh, and vitamin C in green leafy, vitamin E in green leaf, and vitamin A in red leaf type. And then the health benefits it has from bone strength, hydration, improved vision, and improved sleep point of view. And these are the different types as I mean, we also initiated the program at IARI, and we came out with the different types, and which are under the process of evaluation through AICRP trials, and in the red. And this is the field view, that you can see that different types of lettuces are brought out, and I hope that in near future we have good varieties coming on different sector for the urban dwellers, for container gardening, for hydroponics especially, and for the field cultivation in home garden as well. And the iron content lettuce is quite high, but we find that the leafy red and butterhead type are high in it. And then in folate we find this butterhead type is quite high, followed by leaf red and romaine type. And vitamin C is high in leaf green type especially. And the carotenoids are high in leaf green and romaine, followed by leaf red. And the total phenolic contents are high in a leaf red and romaine red type. So the recommended lettuce types for each nutrient are the like that: dietary fiber, romaine type, iron, butterhead, red leaf, baby green leaf, folate, butterhead, romaine, red leaf, vitamin C, green leaf, and baby green romaine, beta carotene and lutein, butterhead, romaine, and leaf, phenolic compounds, red romaine and red leaf. So these are quite good, and they are all low in sodium, which is not required. And then asparagus is another very important perennial garden type cultivation of asparagus, especially in mid hills where you have a congenial environment for growing it quite good. Although it grows in plains, but because of its the fleshy roots, the summers gives kickback to asparagus in plains. So we find that these are different types when we expose them to the I mean, we don't expose them to the light, then we get these etiolated white types also, as people have acceptance for them. And but the colored one, anthocyanin rich, also are available, Asparagus officinalis. And the nutrient package, it's also a nutrient packed crop from the general nutrients point of view, that nutrient the dietary fiber and protein especially find here, and low in carbohydrates, good in energy. And the vitamins, it's quite good in a lot of vitamins are available, all kinds of vitamins. And the minerals it's rich in. Mhm. So, based on the nutrient package that it has, it's good for help in that it helps in pregnancy, diabetes, low weight, immune system improvement, cure hangovers, cancer prevention, urinary tract infections, eye care, and fights premenstrual syndrome as well. And then the other general health benefits are that they support fetal development, low risk of depression, stroke, risk is low, cardiovascular health is quite good because of asparagus. And they prevent osteoporosis, cancer prevention, digestion, etc. Is improved because of asparagus intake. And then we find that these types of asparagus, they have major these compounds in them: protein, fat, vitamins, minerals. And the bioactive activities they have, that anti-cancer, antioxidant, immune boosting, and hypoglycemic they have. And the application that processed products from them can be had, the canning and asparagus drink, asparagus powder, asparagus wine, and asparagus capsules that one can have. And major parts of asparagus plant and their flow chart as in processing, that we find the top portion, which we call as spears, can be used for canning, juice extraction, drying, fermentation, sterilization, and cooking. And this uh, cold and map storage, that is storing can be done. And then this portion called as a stem portion of this, that is the top portion, and the stem portion is good for dietary fiber, juice extraction, bioactive extracts, and like this other products can be had from it. And the root portion is also good for extraction of phenolics, saponins, polysaccharides, free amino acids, and like that. So and these type of the processed products and the fresh product are made into the market where it's grown, not very popular in India, but in the market we do find as it comes from some areas on a small scale. And then we have this artichoke is another crop which is also having the nutrient package of different nutrients, especially you find dietary fiber, protein, carbohydrates, calcium, phosphorus, and these minerals and vitamins it has. And this is the crop that it looks like belongs to composite family with the 34 2n chromosomes, cross-pollinated. And so the its artichoke is the flower head is taken, and the artichoke leaf and flower head has dietary fiber called as inulin and terpenoids, sesquiterpene, lactones, uh, cyanopicrine, and the this polyphenolics. It has quite a good amount mentioned here, and useful for antioxidant activity and anti-inflammatory and hepatoprotective. It is cardiovascular protective. It is. So the nutrition point of view, as have already been indicated, that it is a good having good pack of almost all the vitamins and minerals, and especially this is in protein, carbohydrates, and total fats and dietary fiber. It's quite good in. And then its medicinal properties are choleretic, diuretic, and aiding digestion. It aids in digestion, prevents gallstones, and sportive compounds in this are cynarin, caffeoylquinic acid, butanol, chlorogenic acid, luteolin, and cynoside. So medical actions it has that the cynarin stimulates bile production, which helps the body to break down fats, thus improving digestion. And caffeoylquinic acid, on the other hand, reduces bad cholesterol, supports liver health, and increases urination, whereas butanol possesses antimicrobial and antifungal properties. And this is that the another crop we have called as gherkin, which is from cucurbitaceae family, called as Cucumis anguria, and it is also having good nutritional profile from iron, folate, calcium, vitamin A, potassium point of view, and it's helps in digestion, especially potassium it has, and which also takes care of stomach issues, fatigue, and irregular heartbeat. Gherkin is also good in vitamin K, which provides relief from blood clot and liver problems, and it's important crop for making pickle. And this is how the fruit looks like, and these are the processed product that we can have from it. And these are the health benefits in detail from the point of view of that it is good from hydration point of view, especially in summers, can beat the heat, and it's good in ascorbic acid and good for our skin, therefore, and rich in fiber. So fiber has a lot of utility from digestion point of view. Rich in silica, maintains healthy ligaments, tendons, and connective tissues, and also contains vitamin A, B, C, and minerals like manganese, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, and rich also in vitamin K, which is required for many purposes like clotting of the blood and to deal with the malabsorption issues. This vitamin also helps in bone development and in reducing the risk of osteoporosis. But the important point from the other nutrients point of view is that in the country, this crop is cultivated, it's processed, and is exported, and it's earning a lot of foreign exchange to the country in this way. And its production was started early 90s, although it's not consumed to that extent in the country, but it's grown here, processed here, and exported. So that is that Karnataka was the first state where from it started and spread to the Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, and 2017-18, it earned 1,285.22 crores to the country by exporting to the major countries like USA, Belgium, Spain, France, and Russia. And during 2021, of late, it earned 1,651 crore rupees to the country, along with the cucumber and gherkin together. So that is important aspect that I talked about, the diverse environment. Many crops grown around the world can be grown here, and they can be consumed as per our requirement and exported where it's required, where people cannot do it. And we also started our program at IARI to develop cucumber for protected cultivation, to have more crops in protected cultivation, parthenocarpic and this gynoecious types. We developed these types of ED types, which are in the offing and expected to be soon with the growers, that we have Indianized varieties for protected cultivation. So it aids in protected cultivation as well as the growers and the consumers in the country. Zucchini is another crop which is again cucurbitaceous crop, and Cucurbita pepo has this nutrient pack listed here from fiber, sugars, protein, vitamin C point of view, and good source of vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin A, folate, riboflavin, thiamine, and also has minerals like manganese, potassium, small amounts of magnesium, and phosphorus. And this is the type of the crop, but there are other types of fruit shapes. There are very many fruit shapes in this crop, especially that we have also called as courgette and summer squash. And the health benefits are that they protect cells from free radicals, helps in preventing some cancer, delay in skin aging, reduce premenstrual syndrome systems, and reduce morning sickness, which means that some studies have shown that vitamin B6 may also help to reduce morning sickness during the early stages of pregnancy, and which zucchini is rich in. And then we have another crop called as celery, which is from the Apiaceae family, umbelliferae family, and called as Apium grabilens, with the 2 and 22 chromosomes. And this is the type of crop that you find that in this case, especially the edible portion is otherwise, I mean, it can be called as leaf stalk or petiole, but the leaves are also eaten somewhere, because they are also good source of various vitamins, potassium and folate, but mainly it's known for petiole, and it's also processed like this, its availability. And the nutrition is that it's again having a package of all vitamins in various quantities, variable quantities, and the minerals it has, but it's good in dietary fiber especially. And the nutritional content, that celery is mainly made up of water, but it also provides dietary fiber that is that apart from apigenin and luteolin compounds, celery contains other plant compounds like these selenin, limonene, camphorol, and fumaric acid. These are very important antioxidant compounds, and this antioxidants neutralize free radicals and prevent them from causing damage, and that may otherwise lead to the disease development. And this one stick of the celery is having small amount of vitamin K, folate, vitamin A, potassium, and vitamin C. And then the general health benefits from it is that the apigenin in the celery may help in lower inflammation and prevent inflammation and cancer in general. Blood pressure, the celery takes care of, and the hyperlipidemia, that fat increase in blood can be reduced with the celery. That is hyperlipidemia, and the neurogenesis, which is the epigenin, which may also stimulate neurogenesis, uh, uh, which is the growth and development of nerve cells, and it stimulated nerve cell generation and improved the ability to learn and remember. So, from that point of view, celery contributes, and extracts from celery can prevent various diseases like uh, if it's in the diet regularly, it can take care of like liver disease and jaundice, urinary tract obstruction, gout, rheumatic disorders. And in addition, people use celery seeds to treat bronchitis, asthma, psoriasis, and other skin disorders and vomiting. So the problems it can take off, all those I have mentioned, they are listed again here. Because of the different types of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals it is rich in. Then another crop is rhubarb, in which also the leaf stalk is the edible portion, and the crop looks like this huge leaf, fan shaped, and then the strong leaf stalk, which is commonly used. But the leaf is also consumable, and it's a good source of nutrients, called as the Rheum reponticum, belonging to the Polygonaceae family. And this rhubarb has these various ingredients or compounds called as anthraquinones, anthranone, stilbene, tannins, butyrophenones, and like that. These different compounds have further free anthraquinones like rhine, imodin, alloy amodin, and chrysophenol, combination of anthraquinones and then these anthrones. These different compounds from different major compounds has a lot of role to play in these different problems that can be tackled with, like they have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, hepatoprotective, renoprotective, cardiovascular protective, immunoregulatory, and scavenging free radicals, and pugative. That means the laxativity they increase, and that's how the importance of the rhubarb, that it is a rich source of various pharmacological compound which have a lot of value in the pharmaceutical industry. And there is a lot of potential from the scientists point of view that they can develop, and it's suitable for cold areas, cold desert area especially. That's why I found it's growing in Ladakh area some time back, luxuriantly. Very huge growth and development of this crop, and a lot of nutritive potential, and it's quite good from developing of industrial suitable varieties point of view, which can benefit growers, that growers can grow those varieties for industry, for extraction of these different compounds which have pharmaceutical lot of value, and they have lot of contribution to various drug formation, and these different compounds are suitable from that point of view. And the pugative, the active constituents, the mechanism of rhubarb exerting pugativity means laxativity, is that pugative ingredients are anthraquinones, glucosides, and anthraquinone agly- agly- aglycones. So the intestine it grows, and in the colon they go these different activities, and ultimately they enhance the intestinal mobility, water retention, and also absorption of these through liver, and then pelvic nerve. The intestinal mobility is enhanced, and uh, purgation, that means the laxativity, how it is enhanced, and takes care of our health from various ailments point of view. And the nutritional facts of rhubarb are that it's also having package of these minerals, especially from the nutrition point of view, and the health benefits, sport digestive system used as laxative, which has been mentioned, antidiarrheal properties it has. It gives a little blow to the cancer development, reverses kidney failure in diabetics, lower blood pressures, bone formation. It aids in, improves brain health, and protects skin and eyes. And then another crop is Swiss chard, which is again from the this beetroot family, but it's a leafy vegetable and called as beta bulgars variety secla from Chinopodiaceae family. It's good source of vitamin A, K, and good source of vitamin C and magnesium. And it's quite good. Also contains antioxidants like beta carotene, lutein, zeaxanthin. Vitamin A plays important role in normal formation and maintenance of many organs, uh, including the heart, lungs, and kidney. And this is how the crop look like, and this is how we have seen in crop in other countries. To smaller scale, it's grown in the Indian kitchen gardens, and by the mature gardens, it's grown. And it has also package of various nutrients which aids into our health. All we talk about vitamins, minerals, especially fiber, and the health benefits are again very many, which are from the point of view that lowering of blood pressure, inhibiting blood clotting, reducing inflammation, and also aids in lowering the, because of high fiber in it, good promote good health, heart health especially, and lower the risk of certain cancers. Vitamin K, nutrient essential for a proper blood clotting and skeletal health, and also antioxidant, which from that point of view, lowering the risk of diabetes it has, because it improves the blood sugar control. And then the parsley, which is like that of coriander we have. It's good for sandwiches, especially Petroselinum crispum is quite rich in leafy vegetable, salad vegetable, we can call it as, again rich in various vitamins, electrolytes, especially potassium and sodium, and the minerals and the phytonutrients it has. And these are the major nutrients, that vitamins K, C, iron, vitamin A, vitamin B9, and these minerals, and also tryptophan amino acid, and the benefits it has, all the more very many they are mentioned here, like rheumatoid arthritis control, menstrual pain and bleeding, need for healthy hair, skin, and eyes, treatment of cancer and inflammatory properties, prevents kidney stones, diuretic effects, insomnia, anti-diabetic properties it has, strengthen the immune system, and osteoporosis takes care of, and protects eye health, pregnancy and birth defects this takes care of, helps with the digestion, and relieving constipation. And the cherry tomato, which also has made roads into this country of late, and a good for protected cultivation crop, and IARI developed Pusa cherry tomato, one crop which is quite good, bunches of these small tomatoes we have, but it has good source of various nutritional compounds, especially vitamins and minerals. It's high in fiber, vitamin A, C, and carotenoid antioxidants such as lutein, lycopene, beta carotene, and low in calories. So they may add in weight loss and help stay full and hydrated. And this is especially also good in various micronutrients, minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and carotenoids, lycopene, beta carotene, lutein, which are good for health, for various point of view. And the healthy benefits in general are that it protects against diseases because of those nutrition profile of it. and the protection against diseases, because of it has oxidative, fight oxidative stress, and fighting disease are the compounds. Larger role in fighting disease are that the flavonoids we have naringin and naringenin, and improve health, heart health especially, because of chlorogenic acid and other phenolic acids it has. Anti-cancer property also it has, and especially takes care of the breast and prostate cancer, and promote skin health. Due to aging, ultraviolet light may cause dry skin, wrinkles, discoloration, and other skin defects. So foods that contain carotenoids, polyphenols, and antioxidants, as rich cherry tomato is in, may help in protecting against harmful effects of UV light. So they are the benefits of cherry tomato. And baby corn is the last exotic vegetable which also has made roads into our country, and a lot of indigenous genotypes have been evolved, and people are farmers are getting benefited from it, and as also the consumers are enjoying the nutrition in different formats of diet. So it's nutritionally rich from fiber, protein, and other minerals point of view. And the major benefits from it, that the low calorie food it is, can help during the weight loss, helps in improve eyesight, and also keeps our skin healthy. And besides that, baby corns are rich in folate, which are quite good for pregnant women to take care of their developing fetus in various ways. And the baby corn highlights that I have already mentioned, but still it is considered as healthiest vegetables for loss of weight and improved vegetables across, one of the most important imported vegetable across the world. That so again, the export of this vegetable is quite a lot, and essential benefits from it are from the low calorie point of view, the rich fiber and low carbohydrate veggie nutrient densities, stimulates digestion, promotes healthy vision, and uh, rich source of folate, which is again very good for developing fetus. And so in general, the healthy benefits: the reduction in the body weight, maintain blood sugar level, improve digestion, source of various nutrients, and improved vision it provides because of carotenoids, and prevention of neural tube birth defect also because of the folic acid it has. So to conclude the entire presentation, which has taken quite a lot of time because of large number of crops to be talked about, the overall uh, conclusion is that these exotic vegetables which we have talked about are having very diverse nutrients, bioactive compounds, and medicinal properties. So each of them has their role to play in diversification, and from growing point of view, and from diversification of diet point of view, to stay healthy from various ailments that we may develop during our developing program. And we have a lot of health benefits. These crops to diverse nutrients and other compounds, and they have high value from the fresh market point of view, and from the processing industry point of view, from pharmaceutical industry point of view, and nutraceutical industry point of view. So that the future is quite bright because of the nutrients, bioactive compounds they are rich in. And these crops have potential in home gardens, uh, in the urban and peri-urban farming, especially because of their perishability, and at other places they can also be grown for processing from that point of view. And there is plenty of opportunity for developing indigenous varieties suitable for different climatic conditions that we have. So from the scientific development point of view, all angles are open to develop the package of growing practices, and the indigenous varieties is good. And also that in case of broccoli, we have already made headway, and how we have developed indigenous varieties and popularized around the country. And today we find that although we developed first variety 3 4 decades ago, but in the last decade only we see that it has now started showing its presence and preference by the consumers here and there. So like that, we can also go ahead in making awareness about the nutrient level, and the benefits that we can drive in, including in our diet, the preference of our people, and also from a grower's point of view, that they can grow, and from the export point of view. And the indigenous varieties development and the varietal development based on the pharmacological compound that each of them are rich in is also important, that we develop varieties, industrial varieties, so that to benefit our farmers and the developing industry. So with that, this to that we had been doing this popularization and awareness programs by growing these crops at IARI also, that you find how people are thronging the plots, they to see these vegetables growing there, and also discussing with the scientists. And then also at Kisan Mela time, you find that how we demonstrated the cultivation at lettuce, you can see in the forefront, and the other vegetable in the back, mostly these exotic vegetables that has been highlighted. So with that, I thank the organizer for having given me the opportunity to um, talk about. Thank you very much.
Ah, the after I think after more than an hour, I got the opportunity to thank Dr. Kalia for his very exhaustive, informative, and interesting talk. Um, I will be talking little later. Before that, I request Dr. Uh, Rajan to quickly say 4 5 points which he would like to highlight out of his very exhaustive talk because of the
Uh,
constraint of time. Dr. Rajan.
Thank you very much, sir. Most respected Dr. D.P. Singh, sir, and Dr. Kalia. We compliment you for such an exhaustive this presentation, which has covered all the crops mostly, which are which are related with us, which are related with our now becoming common to us, and the crops which were not known a few years back to the commoner, now those are being included in the plate, the meals. So now the ladies are also very much interested to include the vegetables like broccoli, kale, and the burgers. They have introduced lettuce and other crops, but I should say the commendable work done by the Indian scientists, particularly for developing the varieties of this broccoli. That is outstanding, and the broccoli has become a common crop in several of the rural areas nearby Lucknow and other places also. Initially, those were not welcomed in the mandis. People were thinking that this is a cauliflower, this is a somewhat disease cauliflower. But afterwards, now people are after that and getting good returns out of it. So
Yes.
this exhaustive presentation has given us uh, thought that mostly the urban garden people who are enthusiastic kitchen gardeners or people growing in hydroponics, for them these all crops are important, interesting, and cannot repeat the nutritive value which is or very beautifully uh, described by Dr. Kalia. Not only the few these bioactive compounds, but in detail he has given about all those vegetables which are not common to all of us, might be not seen by most of us, but those vegetables which were introduced by the Britishers, now becoming common. Those are not. Those are many of them are in perennial in nature, in found in Uttarakhand and other places. But now people are recognizing them and trying to grow them. So I compliment you, sir, for such a nice not only talk, your contribution, which is somewhat extraordinary. Your team has developed several varieties, and that will improve the availability of the seeds of those vegetables which were to be imported, or the seeds which were rare and not so easily available. And economically, people can grow these vegetables in kitchen garden, and they can come up with these vegetables in their small areas on the rooftops also. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan. Uh, to be very brief, thanks a lot. Uh, because the time is running short and we will not be able to take the question because the paucity of the time. Those who have got questions can write to me or Dr. Kalia or Dr. Rajan. Um, be sure we will answer. You will get answers earlier than what you expect. Now, friends, today being the last talk of the series, and we have invited Dr. D.P. Singh as a guest of honor. Now, I request him to give his impression about this series in brief. Dr. D.P. Singh, sir.
First of all, good evening, dear viewers. Thanks for inviting me at this platform. I have the pleasure to be the guest of honor here. The BSHS Brahma Singh Horticulture Foundation is carrying this 3H weekly webinar series on horticulture for health and happiness. I am very happy that the founder chairman Dr. Brahma Singh is having for the project sponsoring by Syngenta, Patanjali and NHRDF. It's a very stupendous task, but a very systematic planning has been done by Dr. Brahma Singh and his foundation. The selected relevant topics related to horticulture that provide health and happiness have been made. The picking up most eminent speakers who are the leaders in their specific fields were made by him. Dr. Pritam Kalia and Dr. Shailendra Rajan have been co-organizers of these tasks and have done a wonderful job. In inaugural talk, Acharya Balakrishna emphasized to fight against corona by boosting immunity through horticulture, herbs and fruits. Just for a minute. Dr. S.K. Malhotra, Agriculture Commissioner, 2 DDGs, Dr. H.P. Singh and Dr. N.K. Kumar, and Vice Chancellor N. Kumar of Coimbatore, H.S. Gaur, Dr. P. Rathinam, and others gave very useful information to the viewers. I'm proud of some topics like important topics of latest interest were hydroponics, organic horticulture, protected crops, and soil health. The other topics covered were pea buckthorn, fruits, vegetables, floriculture, plantation crops, seed spices, and horticulture, arid horticulture. The consumer-oriented breeding of solanaceous crops given by Dr. S.A. Tikku was of great interest. It has given quite detailed information about tomato, brinjal, and other solanaceous crops. All these speakers gave detailed information on the present status of the crops or the topics nutritional status, and future direction to implement. In a nutshell, the 3H series has been very useful to the teachers and the researchers throughout. Such information is not easily available, or the researchers will find lot of difficulty in collecting these information. This has been done a very significant contribution by this foundation by organizing this 3H series. I wish a new series may be started by BSHS. Wishing all the best for all the future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for appreciating our efforts. And I am
Thank you,
sure
sir.
what has been said, I think people will accept that and encourage us to do better. So before I say, I think samapan of this series, I have to acknowledge and thank BSHF and myself are thankful to guest of honor this evening, Dr. D.P. Singh, and Acharya Balakrishnan Maharaj of Patanjali, who was guest of honor in the inaugural webinar. We acknowledge the efforts made in preparing the webinar material and delivering them nicely within time and making it interesting. All the speakers of 3H series, which is Horticulture for Health and Happiness. We are thankful and acknowledge the help rendered by and the cooperation rendered by both the co-organizers, Dr. Pritam Kalia ji and Dr. Shailendra Rajan ji, in organizing, getting the, as Dr. D.P. Singh has said, the topmost speaker on the subject, and managing the webinar in such a manner that it is acceptable. We are lucky to have both of them and would like to have them in the future endeavor too. And we are thankful to the past and the present viewers, the appreciators, the commenters, and the well-wishers, and lastly, one and all who are connected or know about this series. Grateful to you all. And BSHF is indebted to sponsors of this series of webinar, the Syngenta, Patanjali Ayurved Limited, and NHRDF. We are thankful to the studio manager for the perfect facilitation and management in streaming the series of webinar. Friends, wish you all happy and prosperous New Year 2022. We meet again on 24th January 2022. The poster can be displayed here. Hello.
Hello.
Is it possible
Displayed
to display
already.
the poster?
Displayed.
Poster
It is
displayed,
displayed.
sir. Poster displayed.
Okay. Then with
already-
these words, I say Jai Hind and good night.
Good night and
Happy New
Happy New
Year,
Year to
sir.
all.
To
Thank you. Happy New Year, sir.
Thank